Hey there, it's Chuck with MTG The Journey, and doing a featured deck this week, and that featured deck is Vraska's Shadow Army, and it was showed to us by Phage the Untouchable on Tapped Out, and this is what we have to work with here. So you can see this is our starting lineup here. We have and he says he's trying to get a deck going in standard format with Vraska. And I agree, Vraska's an awesome card and should be used. Do I think that 4 copies of Vraska should be in this deck? Absolutely not. I think that's way too many and she's way too high cost. Even though he's running 4 Elvish Mystics and 4 Sylvan Caryatids, I feel like Vraska is going to need to be at 3 of at most. And I really don't see with his lineup right now where Domri is essential. Because you're not going to need to fight a creature here, because the only creature that you're really going to ever fight is your Reaper, because it has a toughness of 4, which, yeah, you can fight things like a Stormbreath Dragon or something with this, but I really don't see where that's going to come into play a whole lot, because you have your bow. And if you have your bow on the field, you can already deal 2 damage to his target creature, or gain the 3 life back from the Stormbreath Dragon. So this doesn't seem to be a card as the deck stands that needs to be here. So I feel like this can go sideboard or just go away if for nothing else. Plus the only way he has to cast this right now is with the Sylvan Caryatid for the extra mana of any color. He doesn't have any other way to get in here. And I also think 24 lands is overkill, especially with having the 4 Elvish Mystics and 4 Sylvan Caryatids. I feel like this is overkill. I feel like you could go with 22 lands here and be just fine. Plus he's got 4 Duresses and 4 Thoughtseize. I feel like that also is way overkill. The Gaze of Granites I'm in love with. I love this card. The Thoughtseizes or the Duresses could go to the sideboard, because really all I guess you're trying to get with this is removal, which is fine. So you could move the Thoughtseize to the sideboard and main board something along the lines of a Abrupt Decay. And also I think in the sideboard for this one it's going to need to have definitely Golgari Charm. The Golgari Decoy I do like in this deck because all creatures able to block Golgari Decoy do, and if you have your bow out, that basically means that all of them die. So that's fantastic for you. The 4 Heroes Downfall I'm okay with, but I again feel like there could be better options here. Because we do have Bile Blight now and Drown in Sorrow, which can be very powerful. But other than that, I don't really see any problem other than maybe this giant Adaphage needing to come out for something else. I don't feel like that's as good as even like a Sylvan Primordial. So let's go ahead and head over to MTGO here. And we can also take a look at this here. Now one thing we do automatically notice right off the bat is we have 65 cards in this deck. So we're obviously going to need to cut things right off the bat. But we are collaborating with Michael a little bit from the Rogue Deck Builder channel, and we are going to send this over to him actually so he can do a deck tech doctor on this, and we're going to go ahead and let him make some adjustments to this so we can see what he thinks. I am merely going to throw out suggestions here as to what I feel that I would change already just to get it down to a 60 card lineup. So I already feel like we need to take out at least one of these Vraskas. Once again, I said the Domri Raids, as the condition the deck is in right now, would have to come out. And I would probably cut at least one of each land here. And that already gets us down to the 60 cards. But I feel as though these Gaze of Granites right here are more sideboard cards, because you're only going to bring these in certain instances against white weenies, things that just beat down with small creatures. I feel like that's what's going to happen here. I feel like that's what we're going to need to do, is bring those to the sideboard, which again gives you the option to bring Domri Raid back in. So if we did decide to do that and bring Dami Raid back in, we're back up to 60 cards. And all we've really done here is slim down 2 lands, get rid of 1 Vraska, and put the Gaze of Granites in the sideboard where I feel they belong. Now, I feel like one of these two here is going to have to come out because of the fact that you have competing spots for things that you really need to be in this deck here. So off the bat, I would just say cut down to 2 Duresses, 2 Thoughtseizes, and I would run four copies of Abrupt Decay, just as something to throw in here, simply because of the fact that this card is worth its weight in gold, and I feel like this card belongs in this deck, by far. So this is where we're at 60 cards again. So we have some removal through our Hero's Downfalls and Abrupt Decays. We have Duresses. I would throw Golgari Charms into the sideboard. I don't know if I have any of those. I do actually have 4 of them. So I would bring in those to the sideboard here. So already we're at a sideboard of 10, just with these Golgari Charms, Gaze of Granites, and Duresses and Thoughtseize. Now some other stuff that I would look at for this deck here, and I would probably actually cut down to this here, cut down to 3 bows, as I once again don't feel that they make the cut. Giant Adaphage I would get rid of altogether. I don't feel like it's that great. I feel like Sylvan Primordial is a better card, which we'll see if we have that here. We do have a copy of Sylvan Primordial, so we'll go ahead and throw that in there. And another thing I think belonging in here is Polychronos. I feel like that card has so much value in a deck like this, especially with having the bow. And I only own 1 right now, but they're not too expensive to pick up, so I don't feel like this doesn't have a welcome place in this deck. But once again, your Domries here feel still more like a sideboard card. It doesn't feel like a main board card to me. And that's where I would put in 2 more Polychronos here. So we'll just go ahead and throw in a couple more of these guys. So that feels to me a little bit more like my starting point. That feels like where I would want to kick off from. And I'm really interested to see what Michael's ideas are in here. I feel like this has a good beatdown strategy here. And I feel like even the Reaper might get traded out for like 2 of these Reapers might get traded out for Desecration Demons or something of that like. And even there might be a case to only play 2 of these bows, as they are legendary and we don't want to see them very often. But I would still not have my feelings hurt to do this either, and have Desecration Demon come in here in the Reaper spot as well. I don't feel like that's a bad decision there. So yeah, that's where I would start at. Just to throw that in there and run with that. just to see what we get. And you know, it's only 20 creatures, 22 lands, and all of our other spells are below 5 mana. Our highest mana cost here is the Sylvan Primordial, and I feel like we can hit that with ramp. We have enough lands in and of itself to facilitate what we need. And really, our top of our curve is a 4 or 5, which I don't feel like we'd have a huge problem hitting, especially with these Sylvan Carriers and Elvish Mystics being so powerful. But we might add another land or two in here. But we're going to go ahead and ship this off to Michael and see what he has to think. So stick around and watch the rest of the playlist here. And if you're not on the playlist, hopefully we can get you to the playlist, because I do have the playlist. So that will involve from here all the way through the end of this project. And we are going to go ahead and play it his way, and we are going to go ahead and play it Michael's way as well. So that's where we're headed with this right now. And yeah, stick around and keep watching. Thanks for everything so far, and this has been Chuck with MTG The Journey and RogueDeckBuilder.com.